What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part lucky number 13 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Lokhir Fellheart Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, the Charybdises made their debut as Admiral Twern Lifequencher here sent them against Mr. Leon Kerr himself. And unfortunately for him, the anti-large aspect of the dual Charybdises vastly overpowered the King of Bretonnia there, or Royarch of Bretonnia, if he prefers. Is it unfair? I don't think so. I mean, it's Lewin and his Hippogriff mount and Beaky after all. It's more like a 2-on-2 and then a 1-on-2, really, so he can't complain. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, it's not quite a new turn, but there's still a fair few moves to make, I'd wager, so we're just gonna keep on moving on. Before we do, however, one little note of housekeeping for those who missed the announcement. There is a vote for the Tomb King's Lord of the next campaign, which will be Tomb Kings up in the community or posts tab of the channel. I believe Cetra is ahead of Khalida by about 100 and something votes right now as of this recording, so do make your voices heard, as it could obviously swing either way with those numbers. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? Lokhir, I believe you were heading to Castle Paravent in order to sack it. We were going to build something. Okay, yeah, we're building this at Montlac, which we can probably trade. You, to Paravent, please. How well is this place defended? Not really well at all. It's mostly peasants, so we can ignore them. And, ooh, wait a moment. Okay, close victory, this, really? Okay, this better not hurt the Flying Dread too much, or I'm going to be upsetty. A little bit of damage, but oh well. And we will sack the place for obvious reasons, which will still heal us up well enough for our purposes, and then we'll immediately occupy it, and then trade it off to somebody else. Hey, we did get a second rubric of Dark Dimensions, though. That's a nice pickup. And the Wager Lokhir's own army now doesn't really need it. Repair, and pop in another one of these conscription halls to trade it to somebody. Now, I guess we can go through Castle Songlac, maybe sack Grunair before we move, but this is an easy way into the Empire. We gotta go all the way up the water, or up here, in order to get to Elftown, though, but fully intent on doing so. What do we have here? Fair Derek has captured Helmgart. I assume it was taken by the Orcs, and then the Wood Elves were fighting the Orcs. Looks like the Wood Elves don't want to fight us, however, as most of them have sued for peace and given us plenty of cash for our trouble. Alright, worked out well for us. Anyway. Administrator, okay, yeah, you don't need to move, you're an administrator. Sarah Ray, the Grey Vanquisher. Now you, well, I was going to do a couple of things. So first of all, let's do a little switcheroo with these guys, shall we? You, swap in one extra executioner, like so, and then you are going to swap out 2 of the lower level bleak swords, I guess, for 2 of the blood rack shrines, like so, putting us to 17 out of 20. We still need 1 death hag, 1 blades of the blood, well, the thing about the blades of the blood queen is I wanted to put them into the into this army, into Crone Hellebron. Do we just get them on the field? Or we could keep waiting for the Confederation. On the other hand, I suppose we could always replace one of these guys with the Blades of the Blood Queen, so maybe that's fine. Anyway, what I wanted to do was basically give a couple more Bleak Swords to this army with the Ice Blades, so that they have another couple sets of Bleak Swords with them. Not a unit that we have been using a lot, but this will be okay. 8 tier 2s and then 4 tier 4s in terms of the infantry here. Fairly even, and if we need to or want to, we can put the Blades of the Blood Queen in. Otherwise, this army is more or less ready to go. We just need to pop in. Do we do the Cainite one here? I'm a little bit worried that the Death Egg will get focused down without Blood Bruise. I did go Cain's Fury for that Frenzied Assault, and though admittedly that does feel like it works fairly well with the Harganath Executioners. Their melee defense is pretty low though, but that shouldn't be surprising, but that's neither here nor there. Well, I guess we're just going to have to hope that she survives, because where else would we put Cain's Fury? Alright, so go here and then try to go out to... I guess you can't. Wait. You can't use this port, eh? Wait, if you go back around this way, maybe you can, yeah, alright, fine. We'll meet you here, and then this army will obviously need a mage as well, but we can construct a mage shortly. Anyway, you, move this way. And then you can keep on recruiting. You're not needed for further recruitment unless I'm mistaken, so you're good here. And just to double check, you are not recruiting from Exarian, yes? Yes, okay, so Exarian's good to move out, which is what he's doing. In Mo, you have to continue moving, I guess. And you're also going to need a sorceress, so you can probably lose one of these Black Ark Corsairs with hand bows. Assuming we don't need other stuff in the army, but we shall see. Could obviously also pop another Death Hag in here if we wanted to, but I'll think about it. Anyway, what else do we want here? We could start ranking these guys up to tier 5. I mean, we're there. I can see why. Also pop in the Sorceress Cabin. I guess we could do the same thing here. Why not? Why the heck not? What about you? You're being recruited as well. Or being leveled up as well. And then what about the new Black Arks? Okay, so first of all, you can move because you need to trade troops. Anybody here hankering for a level up? Yes, please. We do have the money after all. Got to be a little bit careful since we do have materials at sea, and we do need it for building upgrades as well, but pretty good to upgrade all the Black Arks. And again, just to address, there's been a few more comments asking why I'm favoring the Black Arks so much over the regular armies. And, alright, so, to make this perfectly clear, look at this. We have Mr. Cameron Barbstorm. He's using a pretty basic army, mostly tier 2, some of the lowest cost troops that we have available to us. Dark Riders, Dark Shards, Corsairs, the Harpies, and some Reaper Bolters. Everything in the army, it's 95% tier 2 with 2 units of tier 3. No tier 4s, no tier 5s, no dragons or fancy monsters or a Black Guard or Executioners and like that. And this army costs 4,000 in terms of upkeep, which is pretty darn expensive. Comparatively, one of our older Black Arks, Mr. Kenwoville, well, our oldest Black Ark here, is costing us 2.3k and has some, well, has more tier 3s certainly in the form of the Witch Elves and Kenwoville's contingent here, our Creeping Dread. My point is these guys have more of those types of units, but cost almost half as much. But that's not quite all. The army is costing 2.3k in upkeep, but it's also generating additional upkeep via getting islands constantly. We're ignoring the fact that they're constantly sacking because the land army is doing that. But on top of that, you also have to remember that Black Arks are floating fortresses or settlements. Every single building in a Black Ark generates money as well, especially the tier 5s, which generates over 200 gold per building. So this arc is making somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 gold per turn just sitting there acting as a city, which is why we have that plus 11,000 gold per turn from horde buildings being the Black Arks. So in reality, this army is costing us something like 500 to 800 gold per turn, and sacking or picking up islands completely counteracts that. So yeah, it's a lot cheaper to use the Black Ark buildings, and that's kind of like the I don't know, the trick to the Dark Elf economy, I guess, under Lokhir, because it's a big help in terms of getting the very costly Dark Elf troops out in numbers. With other factions, we probably wouldn't have been able to get nearly as many elite troops in the Black Arks as we otherwise would. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to doing whatever it is we were doing. Sirare, you're fine as you are. Velician, I don't remember who you are. Oh, right. You're supposed to leech XP to rank up to tier 10 after, well, so Solarian, so, okay, we'll just leave you there for now. Kenwoville, technically speaking, you two are supposed to meet up, so let's have you grab the mysterious island here. Tech Thieves will be sent up for some good old-fashioned tech thievery. You can grab Aggression, I guess. And you got Mathland's Blessing. That'll be nice. Alrighty, and then let's, I guess, head this way. There's two things that we need to do. Well, first of all, you need to... wait. If we put another Death Hag in your army, we won't really have any more room for additional Charybdises. We could reduce the Reaper Bolters down to 1, I guess, in theory. Well, either way, I want to trade the second Death Hag to this army, because, you know, the Witch Elves should have another Death Hag with them, so let's do that, at least to start, and that is Kalin. Right? Oh, they're both the same level, and just to double check, they're both Blood Brews? Yeah, they're both Blood Brews, so it doesn't really matter which one we move. And, the heck, they don't want to trade? Maybe it's because you're in stance? What the heck? Okay, they don't want to trade for some reason. Let's just move the hero directly. Replenish troops. Did she move? She did not move. What the heck? Alright, the game does this sometimes. I guess we'll just move them next turn. It's being weird. Fine. We'll deal with it. Do you want Rude Marcher right now? Or, ooh, actually, you can go through the red line here, which would... You have Slaughter Lord now. Definitely want Ravager rewards for the Black Ark Corsairs, and we will want other stuff, but we don't have any more points available. Alright, well, we'll trade you. Maybe leave the army for now. Maybe you can move into this army now? Hey, there you did it. Okay, I don't know what the heck that was supposed to be, but anyway. Yeah, so I was originally going to put some Charybdises in this army to act as an anti-large unit. I guess we could do one Charybdis in this army since this one has two. What we also need is... Wait a moment. You're not able to generate Black Ark... Or not Black Ark Corsairs. You're not able to yet build... Where are we here? Cold One Dreadknights. It's going to be a while, but admittedly our growth has increased pretty considerably, so you should be able to get up there and just raid and sack for a few turns, and then you should get it. You do need a sorceress rather soon. And you should probably be using a beast sorceress. Oh, okay, you. Summon a sorceress. Do we have any beast ones? Master of the Winds. That's pretty good. And Monomaniacal... That's also pretty good. Targeting range plus 100%. Ooh, a more... Greater Magic Bond is really, really good. But this will mean basically spamming Flock of Doom from wherever we damn well please. That was a hard choice. I do like the magic item drop chance in addition. The Unbreakable is kind of irrelevant to the Dark Elf Sorceress because nobody's going to catch her on a Dark Pegasus because she's just way too fast. Well, okay, maybe if we fight the rats and they Howling Warp Gale us, but that's about it. Maybe we do the Greater Magic Bond for once? Why not? Greater Magic Bond. Alright, you're gonna pop into that army. Flock of Doom will combine nicely with the sort of damage over time effects that we've got going in that particular force. Let's go Flock of Doom, let's pop in Wildheart. And you have a Beast Mage as well, but somewhat for a different purpose, mostly just to max out the HP on these guys. Alright. Could have done a different sorcerers, but we got lots of different sorceresses in other armies, so it's fine. Anyway, let's keep going. We will build the Cold One Dreadknights as needed. Admiral Khaleth, still waiting for Emmerich to come out of hiding, but for now, you've got islands to pick up. And what do we have here? Let's see if we get anything good, and I guess heal ourselves to full so we don't have to, well, you know, deal with it. Alright. Yeah, it's just XP and money. Not that I would say no to either XP or money, mind you. Alright, keep going towards this particular mysterious island. Oh, I guess we could go into March Stance and pick it up this turn if we wanted to. And I think there was another island... Oh, it's all the way over here. It's kind of far. Well, either way, grab Mushroom Stew. Hey, we got a free Book of Ashur out of that? Okay, that's pretty nice. And Curse of Cannibalism helps as well. You know what? Stay out here. Almost tempted to attack these guys. They're right there. Bogler Country, rather, isn't going to be worth anything, but might be fun just to fight these guys just because they're here. We could go up to Pig Barter and sack it. Oh, they actually kind of like us. Massive Ruler's Tolerance increase, eh? And they're fighting these guys as well. Goldtooth is friendly with them, though, and Goldtooth won't like us attacking them. But pretty much everybody else around here will. I'm not super keen on any of the units in that army. I mean, okay, to be fair, Mortis engines are nice everywhere, no matter what. And admittedly, Dark Elves do practice necromancy. I mean, technically they invented it, but they do more of the spirit binding thing rather than raising corpses, so it does kind of make sense to have them get some ghostly units on occasion, so it's a possibility. Anyway, grab this fill cargo, please. There was a little... High Elf army from Nagaroth out here, but I don't see it anymore, so I guess we can just ignore it, whatever. Nagaroth continues to be an irritant, but an irritant is all they are. Alright, Potion of Foolhardiness? I don't think so. Alright. And Lost Cargo again. Lovely. We got 9 turns of that. Lots of the extra growth as well, which will help out in maximizing our use of materials at sea. Anyway, you can keep going this way, I guess. Should I have... This is shared. Coast of Lyonesse. Are you telling me it's... This is also Coast of Lyonesse? Yeah, oh wow, okay. This is a big old shared body of water. Fair enough. And I don't think we need to invest in these things now, because they're a little bit too expensive, to be fair. What else do we have? Valician is fine as she is. Dekun Kar, you're only... Oh, right, you sacked this at the end of last episode, but you didn't move any further. I'd like to get the Great Ohm, but... Honestly, there isn't too much to do here. We could go back and sack Trogland again, but without a land-based army, there isn't too much we can do out here. So I think for now you're good to go out here somewhere. I mean, there's a lot of coastline here, and then there's, of course, the river, or rivers in Reichland. All of this, potentially. Kislevites, we haven't fought any Kislevites. Yeah, maybe start moving out that way as well. We've pretty much proven the superiority of Shades to Shadow Warriors. I guess some of these Shades here are the... I forget what they're called. They're Reaver clans? Reaver Shades? I think it's Reaver Shades. Basically, there are Shades that were sent by Malekith to Ulthuan to fight the Shadow Warriors out there, and, well, they have a lot of good fun. Alright, enormous Black Ark for you as well. I think you've earned it. Also, well, yeah, we can keep Estates of the Masters for now, but we'll get rid of it later. Anyway, let's see who else we've got here. Twern, you're good. Xarian, I think you're recruiting, and I believe that's it. Alright, other than the potential hero moves, you were supposed to join Camring, minus the issue of me not knowing who to actually get rid of in this army. I guess we wanted to get rid of these guys, replace them with one more of the Corsairs. Alright, fine, go here. We'll have you capture Sud next turn so that you can easily cross over to Theraville. Maybe we'll get a temporary lord to just ferry those troops over. Anyway, outpost available, I think we don't care about right now. Lord not moved, outpost upgrade available, and then the turn. Alright, looks like no foolish attempts at actually attacking us. Fair enough. A new regional power, Crooked Moon. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Couronne has now confederated Bordelot Errant, and by force of, you know, being destroyed by us, looks like Couronne and got to unify all of the factions into one. Good for them, I suppose. Confederation, there we go. Technology research, speed, and vile net for all characters. I do wish that this was... I imagine... Let me just see here. If we take a look at the Black Ark Reaver, yeah, so he already has the vile net, so he doesn't get it again, which is a little bit unfortunate, because thus it upgrades everybody except the Black Ark Reavers, which are our most sort of critical units. I feel like the ability that should be given from this should be sort of like a lesser vile net, for example. Maybe make it do like 10 to 25 damage or something, or 15 to... I don't really care. My point is, make it so that it's also given to Black Ark Reavers so that they have 2 nets available to them, and thus also get an upgrade from it, because, I don't know, it just feels right. Anyway, we got 2 turns to get the next thing up and running. There's a hero recruit rank for Black Ark Reavers, speaking of. I do like that missile resistance. Magic item drop chance ain't too bad. Reinforcement range plus 50%, kind of irrelevant to our Black Arks because they support themselves pretty darn well. I'm gonna say after all of this, let's do Autherings to Mathlan. Although charge bonus when at sea probably helps with the reinforcing. Or the sacking with the Black Arks. Yeah. Oh, I also forgot to do Diplo last turn. Let's see if anybody's willing to trade. Ooh, hello, we got Corsairs of Spite willing to trade here. Oh, I forgot about the Corsairs of Spite. Ooh, hello. Corsairs of Spite are willing to confed. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, but if we confed them, will Harganeth then no longer confed? Actually, it's completely dependent on whether she loses her main stack. She's got 2 now. They're doing really well. All right, you know what? Screw it. I want the Corsairs of Spite. We're going to take them. Let's actually do any kind of agreements we can with them, because we want all their money first. Oh, that's all the money they got? Yeah, fair enough. We'll do that, and then we'll confed. Yeah, the thing is, the Corsairs of Spite are right beside Lorelorn, and in the lore, Lorelorn do have contact and some... non-aggression pacts at the very least, maybe possibly trading with the Dark Elves, so it makes sense. How do they feel about us? Minus 50 from aversion, they don't like the past treaties with the Corsairs of Spite. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But oh well. Really? Minus 30 for half a second of treaty? Okay, it's okay. We got Seathil, which is a nice territory. Ooh, wait. A moment. Here, Chantillon. We can't summon a new Black Ark. Oh, they have a Black Ark. Ooh, right beside Dastan, too, who might kill it if it can't move. Okay, luckily it can. Oh, and it's actually a tier 5 Black Ark. Oh, that's nice. Alright, wait. Alright, we gotta deal with this. You're gonna move away, Mr. Admiral Exarian. Yes, we have a second Admiral Exarian now. Keep away from Dastan. We can send one of these armies to deal with him. And you sit here. I would like all of you guys maybe to temporarily transfer all your troops to this place. We don't really need Chantillon, so we can uncollect the income here for now, but maybe trade it to... Oh, it's only Lewin here. Might just abandon it. And I know it's a coastline, but... Otherwise, but they have this too. Wait a moment. Erlach, which is where? It's all the way out here, kind of in the mountains. Klessen. There's not enough coastal territories here to make this worth our time, but I was intending to grab Elftown and Marienburg, so kind of I gotta think about that. But anyway, let's see if you guys have anything interesting item-wise. You know, and you have very little in the way of loyalty. Not that that's our problem. Arden of Marathi, nothing interesting, and oh, you're rank 10, aren't you? You didn't take a name of power. Oh, AI. AI. Why are you like this? And are those the only armies we have? Oh, we actually have this one I didn't see as well. Do you have any items? Yeah, Malefic Dreadlord, which isn't too bad in your rank 4. Your loyalty is actually pretty okay. We have a Master Infiltrator type assassin, which I admittedly don't care that much for. You could sit here if you want. I'm kind of disinclined to use this army, and maybe we'll just send the additional troops up to the Black Arks as well. So go up here for now. You're costing us a lot of money, which we probably don't intend on using. You guys are going to trade all your troops to Admiral Exarian. It'll make them a lot cheaper. And then you can be disbanded for now. And you can do the same, Durath Hellbane. Like so. And you can be disbanded as well, at least for now. Alright, Exarian, you... I guess you can upgrade the Bloodrat Cauldron. Oh, and you didn't get the other thing. You have Fighting Pits, which I guess you can keep for now. This is Shrine of Cain, Messenger's Lodge House. What do you have in terms of... You also didn't take a name of power. Slaughterlord, Night Lord, Sheaf Master, and Linebreaker. And I think you can't reset Black Arks, can you? So the AI kind of ruined this one in terms of its red line, but we can probably put something together. It's a little bit unfortunate that they don't have Raid Leader, considering, but it's all good. Oh, actually, this is serendipitous. You're a tier 5, meaning you can build the Night Building, which we can make use of to build Admiral Twern the stuff that he needs. Wellity. I guess Cain truly does favor us. Alright, well, you can replace that with that, if that makes any sense. I guess you don't need the Shade Building either? Yeah. Alright, that looks good to me. You don't have Ravager rewards or Raid Leaders, so you're not using Shades or Dark Riders here, but everything else is fair game. Watch him get the Shade buff out of the name of power. Well, we'll just have to wait until he levels. Anyway, looks pretty good to me. Do you have any items? You do not. Wow, what the heck? These guys have no items? I guess considering that we've had a severe dearth of items through the course of this campaign, the other Dark Elves having a dearth of items does kind of make sense. Don't collect the income here, at least not for now. We can delete the Messenger's Lodge House. I might actually keep this one territory. Fort Solace is by itself. Oh, this is a good place to sort of take and fortify. It's sort of solo here, and it's on the coast. I don't mind that. Stedham... Let's see, Arnau, but Stidham and Gorcel are kind of all in the... not... Yeah. Okay, wait. So what I want to do is this. We need to grab Passive Stone, so we will need to generate a ground army, so you guys are going to trade troops until we send them there. The other thing is, we don't really need Seathil, and it's also an uninhabitable magical forest garbage, so what we'll do is this. We will trade you, Seathil, for a... Do we want to go straight military alliance? I mean, we could... Either way, we'll do trade agreement, military access, and... screw it, military alliance, why not? Watch them get into contact with, like, Scryer and then declare war on them. You know what? I don't trust it. Defensive alliance. And then... I want Wood Elf units. Then we will have you go into Break Non-Aggression Pact with Reichland and Westerland. Good. Trade agreement with Reichland and Westerland. It's not free, but you're willing. And they have no other agreements? They have no other agreements. Fantastic. Do you want them to also join any wars? We could declare war on Karl Franz and have them join it, but the thing is we want to take Passive Stone for ourselves so that we can get the Sword of Cain for Lokhir there. Could have them declare war on Britonia if we wanted to. kind of piss off more of these factions, but it kind of makes sense. Join war against Bretonnia, maybe Couronne? Yeah, they're willing. Anybody else? Nagaryth? That's kind of amusing. Anybody nearby that we could actually... Yeah, I think we'll just do Bretonnia. And then, do we want all their money? It's basically nothing. Oh, wow, what the heck happened to you guys? Weird. Alright, well, we'll take it either way. Say Ethel... Propose offer. A tier 5 it may be, but these guys can make much more use of it than we can, and we can get troops out of it. Then, since we're your only allies, we'll immediately build an outpost up in Torlethanion. Ooh, you got the War Dancers. The main things I wanted out of them... Well, actually, there's a lot of potential, but I wanted War Dancers and I wanted Sisters of the Thorn, both of which could work here. And remember, Lorelorn is its own culture. It's not like Athelloran. They don't even really like each other. But anyway, the Pass of Stone. Poorly defended. At least in terms of armies. It does have something of a garrison there. Some interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick look at if there are any dead lords or ancillaries or, I don't know, a little bit of admin stuff. I just want to take a quick look over, see everything we've got out of that and our heroes. Oh, I'll move the heroes as well. So I'm going to make a little quick cut here not to waste time with more admin, because I've been yammering on a lot this episode and I don't want to pain you guys too much. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, there we go. Just went ahead and moved all the heroes around, at least the ones that needed to be moved, like all the tech thieves and stuff. Oh, you know what I could do? I could probably name a couple of the tech thieves while we're here. You can be R&D Headhunter. We do this our second R&D. Nagarond R&D, you failed me. You're the only one I named myself, and you failed me. Anyway, that's what I get for naming something myself. Anyway, Siphon of Knowledge. Oh, it doesn't fit on this line. Siphon of Knowledge for you. All right, good enough. Anyway, yeah, these guys didn't have any more lords or anything in the sort of dead pool, and I guess we're good to go with them. Let's see if we can't put Lorelorn to good use. Just gotta keep them happy, and the past treaties with Corsairs of Spite, began my mistake on that, will go away. Maybe if we also give them Arnauer, well, actually, we could just go over here and give them Schlaghugel, and then... Well, no, we can't give them Passive Stone, but anyway, we'll deal with it later. Let's get back to doing whatever it was we were doing. Lokhir, you're starting the day. Now, okay, just to check, how much is Montfort worth? Ooh, 20,000. I was gonna head immediately to Castle Sanglac, but I don't think we can pass up 20k worth of sack value. Do you guys? No, you guys do not. Let's sack that first. We could declare war on these guys and move through this pass instead. I'll think about it. It takes us a little bit further from Altdorf, which might be a potentially nice little setup for Black Arks to sort of make a pit stop. Pyrrhic Victory. Really? It's just peasants. I mean, they do have 3 Knights of the Realm, but Pyrrhic Victory or not, this is not worth Lokhir's attention. It is worth the sack value, though. There we go. A nice 20k, and I didn't do building, so we still got to deal with that. Alright. I wonder how much these guys would pay for this. Thank you, Pa. Lovely. Don't collect the income. We can... I mean, I guess we can repair it. Because otherwise the buildings will be worth nothing when they trade it. Just out of curiosity, Montfort is worth 1, 2... we could probably get them to break all their alliances again. And get 11k? Ooh, alright, you know what? I like that more. We can still trespass through their territory, after all. We've been causing such havoc in the Wood Elf lands, they all hate each other now, because we forced a bunch of them to declare... Ooh, I wonder if we can get Dargwalon to pay us for Montlac. We can't... Wait, what? Does this mean they have 0 money? They're not willing to offer us anything? That's kind of interesting. But I want to see the Sphere Derek and Aeronach. Hey, it's not free, meaning I'm happy with that. What about this stuff? Okay, that stuff's free, so I guess... You know what? I'll do it with the Wood Elves, but I won't do it with the... Let's see, Torgavon and Vidrioth. Because again, this tremendously amuses me. Trade agreements. Oh, no, not start a trade agreement. Break trade agreements with these guys. Let's see if this is free. Oh, it's not free, meaning we are free to do that. Beautiful. And... break military access. Also not free. Beautiful. All right. You know, since all the other stuff wasn't free, maybe the maybe all the break and non-aggression pacts with the other factions is good as well. Let's do Couronne and Reichland as well. Plus, Dirthu's a maniac, so why not? Alright, there you go. You can enjoy this little territory, Dirthu. All of you will hate each other. Hey, Dark Elves manipulative, and we do have all those envoys after all, so why not? I don't see why not. Anyway, that was Lokhir Camerang. You gotta... Oh, kind of a waste of a movement. Although I guess you could go and go after the Enchantress after. I wonder, if we sack this again, just 1 second, auto-resolve for obvious reasons. It's better not damage our army. Okay, it did not damage our army. And then we sack this. Can we now move through it? We can, but barely. Yeah, I might as well just take it then. Occupy. And then you should be in this army. But I guess we'll wait until next turn to send the other units away. Oh wow, Enchantress. Your army isn't really going to be all that major of a threat, though. You probably should have kept the Knights of the Lionhearted with a Lewin, just my opinion on the matter. And, oh, you didn't have a sword? Actually, Sword of Battle's a pretty good choice for you. You have a really low melee defense. I was hoping for something like a Fencer's Blades. The Hydra Blades are going to the army with Hydras for obvious reasons. Yeah, there we go. We got a Fencer's Blades right here. Take that. No magical attacks, but it'll bump up your melee defense to 45, which is decent. You already have Fear and Terror, so that doesn't matter. I guess you can keep the Crown of Black Iron for now. A little bit of ward save. I'm going to take a look and see if we have another one of these items later on that gives us a little bit more melee defense. Again, Dark Elves really struggle with getting any decent amount of melee defense on, well, not just their lords, but their heroes as well. Anyway, Sirare, keep recruiting Alarian. You're free to move now. I guess we could sack this, or we could loop back around to Sigmarsheim. Oh, now that we've confederated, the control is going to be a big issue here. You know what? Go with fights to the death here to counteract this. There's no way that they actually attack Sigmarsheim because the garrison is too strong. But we are free to sack Longueur de Lac and then proceed maybe to cache Solgi-Sora. Wait, don't do that yet. We need this army to reinforce so that they can both hopefully reach rank 10 soon. That's not a real army, but, you know, still want them to reach rank 10. That hasn't changed. And then we'll sack the place. And I guess this is one of those places where we're not really incentivized to destroy it so much. Maybe we want to just keep it around, eh? Yeah, alright, you go back here. And then Alarian, you can go into March Stance. You're rank 9 now, and Valician is rank 9 as well. Maybe loop back around, sack Laret, sack Oak of Prophecy, Wezin, and Artois. It's a pretty good sort of setup to farm the Bretonnians. I like it a lot. Anyway, Sira, and that's why this army was built to hopefully auto-resolve, just generally speaking. Anyway, Conwovale, our favorite Witch Elf army. You... Now, what I really wanted out of you was to go and fight Dastan, but... Wait, do you guys need to stick together for now? Let me just see here. Oh, actually, Twern can now move towards Admiral Exarian. Yeah, you know, we'll do that. You can go with Exarian for now. Where... Oh, I was supposed to put Carestra in your army, my bad, dude. You can go in Terminants of Battle. Conwovale, we'll see if Dastan wants to fight you. Really, what he wants to fight, or who he wants to fight, is Lokhir, because Lokhir had his entire family sacrificed to Mathlan, and probably Anathrema. But anyway, Arabian Arms. Heavy Iron. Alright, I actually don't think he's gonna attack this, guys. They've got Heavy Iron now, and Curse of Cannibalism, and... Okay, and Curse of Cannibalism. Oh wait, the Bloody Red Spot and Mathlan's Blessing. No Curse of Cannibalism on this army, but still 3 buffs, which is pretty intense. Anyway, you're here for a couple of turns while we build the Dread Knight building. And you can pop into Dread Expansion, but I guess we'll want to level you in case. Quartermaster, there we go. Even cheaper army, because clearly that's what we need. I'm not being sarcastic, I just always sound so. Anyway, replenish troops, Dance of Death, and Impassioned, please. Obviously, more Death Hags will mean more defensive buffs for the Witch Elves, which we definitely want in this army. We are likely to get attacked, so let's start going through Esteemed Combatant, which we want. Sorceress of Beasts. Now, I do like Curse of Anra here, I do like Pans. We also do have the speed, but admittedly our units of... I wonder if this works in the sea. Just pop it in. I don't think it does, but it might. Well, I guess it doesn't matter for Dastan because he can't cast anyway. Actually, wait, can you move very slightly towards him? Just out of curiosity. This is whose territory? Coast of Nordland. I just want to see something. 100 and plus 2. Yeah, it doesn't seem to. Enemy wins a magic power reserve capacity minus 20. Yeah, I was wondering whether it would work for here, but oh, you better not take that mysterious island from us. I will be spaghetti about it. Anyway, Kenwell Vale. Let's keep leveling you. Just the other Death Hag, then. Now, I guess we'll want to move through Blessed... Well, actually, live to slaughter another day, so... Yeah, I mean, we could grab the Rune of Cain. Oh, you know what, Rune of Cain's 1 point's not a big deal. Here, do we have anything that makes you tankier? A little bit of extra armor-piercing damage. Actually, admittedly, on the Cauldron of Blood, that's better than you think, but the melee defense just plain has a higher value, so that's what we're gonna go with. Anyway, that's Kenwell Vale. Who's after him? Balthanal Shadow Dart. Now, you were going to... Hey, look, Lethanar is back. We can't get him with the Black Arks. Well, yeah. I was about to say, but in the lore, certain Black Arks, at least, could be moved onto the land. I mean, A, beaching themselves is possible, but B, the dark cities of the Dark Elves, they were all the Black Ark. The original Black Arks were basically taken inland into Nagaroth, rather, including Nagarond. And thereafter were sort of melded into the ground and thus became the cities. So it's certainly possible. These guys moved away. I was going to have a Caliph attack, yeah. Oh, well. A bit of a shame, but I guess we can go pay the Black Kraken Armada a little visit. Should be a fun time for them. Or for us. And once we're done over here, we'll just loop back around towards Imric again and see if he has anything more interesting for us. Hey! There's another little Black Ark here. The AI really does a poor job of making good use of these things, doesn't it? It's a bit of a shame, but what can you do? Do you need to build anything? It's not critical right now. We have better ways to spend our money. Dakun Kar. I'd actually like you to sack Newland one more time. Similar to what we did to Trogland in the south. We can cripple this faction by heavily damaging their capital. And suck. And there we go. Started at tier 4, now it's down at tier 2. Or was it tier 5? I don't remember. But all I know is it's not in good shape anymore. And I guess we could mosey on down to Trogland again, but I think we're okay. So let's move. We're out of here. We could also sack the Bleakmoor, but I don't really see the value in it. Later on, if we confederate Harganeth, we'll probably have Crone Hellebron attack Bellicor. Not that there's any real benefit to doing so, just because we can. Moksha, Tempest of Talons. You know, you're mostly done in terms of building and stuff. I think we just need to get you to move on as fast as we can. So, let's get you moving, sir. You're out of here. Ignore the little Nagaroth armies. I'm a little bit tempted to sally out, to peace out with them for a while. It's not like we're attacking any of their territories, and they're just going to keep annoying us instead of Hellebron, and I kind of don't like... Oh! Minus 204. Never mind. Alright, well, I guess we're just going to have to send an army up their way eventually. Granted, our coastline is pretty fortified, so the likelihood of them actually doing too much to it is kind of low. Can Koval Barbstorm, you with your piles of Scourge Runner chariots and Black Ark Corsairs with handbows, kind of a sort of kiting form of an army, are pretty much ready to go. You're only missing a Black Ark Reaver and a Sorceress. We have... Oh, I think we don't have Black Ark Reaver capacity anyway. You know what? You can start moving then. You can get your own Black Ark Reaver and your own Sorceress once we have capacities for them. I think that's the better way. At least this way, you're on the way to greater things. You have Inspiring Presence. You obviously need Line Breaker for your Black Ark Corsairs. And I assume Raid Leader is Scourge Runner Chariots? Indeed it is. Alright, Raid Leader it is. And we'll go for loose. Scourge Runners are low level, I take it. Yeah, but these guys are going to be rank 7 real soon. So Ravager rewards. Oh, well, I guess Ravager rewards is both of them anyway. Isn't it beautiful? And actually, the plus 15% range for the Scourge Runners will be nice because it'll combine with the bonus 10% range from Barbstorm. So it's a pretty good choice of an army to command them, even if it's not under a Beastmaster, which might be a little bit more appropriate. Anyway, I believe that's everyone, meaning we can do a little bit of building, though I don't believe there's much. I'm gonna keep an eye on that materials. Let's see, though, because we'll probably have to rush some stuff in order to make the most use of it. But not like there's too much in the way of... Do we want to upgrade this? Just upgrade it for now. Probably not going to keep it, but it costs basically nothing, so why not? Paravent. Probably trade it to Wood Elves again? I wonder if we can get Durthu to declare war on some of the other Wood Elves. This is just the best way to bring them down. Cause them to dissolve into anarchy within Athelor and repair this, I guess. We could probably trade it to somebody, at least potentially. And there we go. Skip. Ooh, actually, no, there's two things we need to do. We need to take a look at the public order in places. In fact... any places that can pop a dictat... Oh, your public order is actually fine. Huh, go figure. Okay, well, I'm just going to leave you alone then. You're not so much fine. -6 is not so bad that I think we need to pop fights to the death right now, so we can ignore you. Your public order is fine. You're kind of okay as well. River Brienne. -8 is not so bad. Honestly, I thought these places would be a lot worse. Let's pop fights to the death here in Aquitaine, though. And there we go, that place will fix itself, and I believe in 3 turns? Yeah, in 3 turns we'll get sacrificed to Authority again, so we can counteract it with a +10 control. Oh, that island's back. I don't think any Black Arks going this way. And these guys are going to go north and deal with all of this. Oh, you know what, maybe we can send one of these guys in the long way around. Well, then again, assuming that we send at least one down here... one down here to this coastline, and we'll probably need several down here. We might actually need to send more of these guys down there, eh? Go figure. Alright, well, we'll deal with it for now. We just gotta end the turn. Oh, thank you, Dastan Coldeye. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to get a proper good fight to this episode, and I think this one will certainly serve. Charybdis, Feral Manticores, Doomfire Warlocks, Black Guard of Nagaroth, and gotta remember that we're also missing at least one unit here. Too bad we can't capture the Charybdis and take it for ourselves. I do feel like monsters, possibly, and maybe some other types of units, when it's sort of a same-on-same faction fight. More stuff should be capturable than other than artillery. Like, the mechanic already exists. It's a little bit weird that, you know, it's not put to greater use. Not that it's too much of a big deal or anything like that. Let's enjoy. Dastan Coldeye, go.
The king. Only a fool would cross the king.
Alrighty, here we go. Looks like it's a face-off between different Dark Elven factions, and we'll see which one is the stronger. Debut battle for the Creeping Dread. We've named Kinmovale's contingent here. We're going to see how effective they are, though we will keep them together as the bodyguard of Kinmovale, especially since he's a ranged unit and they're a ranged unit as well. Otherwise, I want to just make a quick comparison between our Black Ark Corsairs and theirs. 122 magical melee attack versus 70 non-magical melee attack, 48 more armor, and probably a bunch of other stuff. Though you gotta remember that we got a bunch of sort of island buffs in this particular army, so it does explain at least part of their stats. Anyway, the enemy is going to start moving towards us, summoning a Doombolt over the Jerez Fangbreakers, who do lose about 20% of their HP, and start getting hit by the Dark Riders with repeater crossbows as well. Since the enemy are moving a fair few of those fast movers on our flanks, we're going to send off one unit of Black Ark Corsairs and one unit of the Witch Elves out there as well. The Witch Elves in particular to apply that Madness of Cain to the enemy and force those fast movers into melee where they cannot run. Doomfire Warlocks are going to be having a pretty bad time here, as they are fairly fragile, but the magical damage that our Black Ark offers, counteracting their physical resistance, they are not likely to survive for very long. Over in the background, we have the Soul Rain, or whichever the ability is coming down on the enemy artillery pieces, while the rest of our units have closed. Black Ark Corsairs facing off against Black Ark Corsairs, though ours with the better stats. Our Witch Elves have taken down a unit already, and it looks like several of our units are pushing forward. Another unit of Witch Elves has moved around the enemy flanks, and the Damsels of Doom will quickly tear through those poor Dark Shards. Tear them to shreds. Oh, I do like the sort of white, gray, beige, whatever color scheme they've got going on here, but it looks pretty nice, though it's going to be all bloody rather soon. In fact, the bounce power has shifted to about 80% in our favor already. The Black Guard of Nagaron fairly quickly being cut down. And it looks like Mr. Dastan has been defeated by our Black Ark Reaver, which booked it directly towards him. The enemy Manticore, as both of the Manticores have attempted to go after our artillery pieces, but Conmovale and his contingent here, the Creeping Dread, will simply gun them both down. First one is already done for, and okay, it looks like, I do like those swords. Looks like we're waiting for the Manticore to be out of range, or not be blocked in terms of line of sight, but I suppose it doesn't matter over much as the rest of the enemy army is done for. Very quick battle, perhaps unsurprisingly, considering it's Dark Elves versus Dark Elves, so it's pretty much a highly high damage dealing army versus high damage dealing army, and both relatively fragile. Down goes a Dastan with a swing of that sword from the Black Ark Reaver, and the great weapon working out pretty nicely for us. And there we are. Alright, neither the enemy Black Guard of Nagaron nor any of their other elites were able to manage to do all that much. I do see at least some damage, down to 50% for example in this unit of Corsairs, but they only lost 20 units, so they should be back up to 80% HP or whatever soon. Alright, there we go. Thanks, Dastan Coldeye, for not being a coward and actually deciding to attack us. Damage-wise, let's see, 8, 9, 6, and 14k. Ooh, by a country mile, 14,000 damage. The Heart Takers will take all of our hearts for killing the most foes. And at 21,000-ish damage, 20,000 damage of the Sea Cutters for the Twin Blades. The Reaper Bolt Throwers are unnamed in this army. I got names for you. Alright, we'll name you. And Conmovale's contingent sat back together with Conmovale, firing away at the enemies and also guarding the Reaper Bolt Throwers, wherein he was providing the loose ability and making these guys shoot all the harder. Our only ranged units in this army after all, despite the fact that Fleet Masters are technically a ranged lord, or at least a ranged army-centric type lord. But anyway, 4,000 gold for that, eh? Not so bad. I guess we should take the money. Take the money.
Let them live.
Alright, Scheme of Doom performed. Garrison Commander, Creator, Valician, loyal again. Who was disloyal? I have no idea who that was, because Fleet Masters have no loyal. I mean, they're completely loyal. You know what I mean. It's such an honor to command a Black Ark that, well, disloyalty might be a bad idea. You are going to go grab this island while we wait for additional capacities to be freed up for all the unit types. And of course you can head out to wherever it is you need. Also, how's that Slaneshi corruption? All gone. Beautiful. The second K-Knight Shrine completely counteracted that. Oh, wow, this province actually also does make a ton of cash, despite only having 2 ports. Well done. Alrighty, anyway, is there anything that remains of Dastan's army? Not much, not even Dastan himself. Alright, Conmovale, go kill. Like so, and out of resolve. Yes? Yes. And Teensy, 1 loss. Okay, which idiot, one of the Sea Hags got themselves killed? Come on, come on. We'll take the money for obvious reasons. And there we are. Well done. Faction destroyed, Tyrants of the Black Ocean. We've given these guys Sayathon. Ooh, look at all these islands on the way to Kislev. So let's march stand see you. I mean, we could also sail Conmovale down here, but considering he's closest to Kislev and we have other armies that we can move down, I think that'll be okay. Hey, he's got Frenzy again. Certainly picking up a lot of these. We could also, in theory, if we wanted to, wait 4 turns, was it? Or 3 turns, to pick up another Charybdis. But you know what, maybe we'll wait until the Black Ark needs to construct something, or until it's damaged or something, because, I don't know, it feels like a little bit of a waste right now. Alright, you still good with all of this there, Lorelorn? Looks okay to me. I'm back to Lokhir then. So, I was saying we should probably then move through Helmgart, meaning we could pop you out of this territory. Transfer Helmgart to you. Wait, transfer Montfort to you, rather. We don't care about Helmgart. Huh, although it is a fortress, and... I don't know if we get anything useful out of it. How much would it... they would be able to transfer to us, but is it worth our time? We could get 12,000 gold from these guys. Oh, but if we do, I'm willing to bet they won't betray their alliance. Aranok... actually, they will, just barely, but they will. What about your trade agreements? Torgavan and Aranok? Okay, they won't do both, so let's just do 1 and 1. Alright, and then what about military access? Aranok? No, he won't do that. I mean, I guess we could take a little bit less money. You know what, let's see. Let's have them break all of their alliances instead. No. Let's have them break all of their alliances instead. Actually, I don't care about Couronne. They're not really a threat anymore. And then break the trade agreements with both. And then break the defensive alliance with Aranok. And then no military alliances and break the military access pact. And then we'll get 10 instead of 12k. But that's fine. It's worth it. More havoc among the various wood elves. Enjoy your little Bretonnian territory. Fantastic. And I guess we can raid our way through this territory that we just traded them to. Absolutely fantastic. Alright, keep going, and hey, if it isn't some Imperials that we can sack our way through as well. Beautiful. Alberic, you're kind of annoying me, sir, but, oh, we gotta move the tech thieves again, now. Alright, let's start with moving the tech thieves. Inescapable, unfortunately. Hey, how dare you fail? I just gave you a name. I'm going through Quell. Alright, you can lose that Dark Pegasus. What else do we have? Okay, I don't remember where the others are, to be perfectly honest. Where are we here? Tech Thief. Oh, right, you're out here. You land outside of Strovengard and then the Steel Tech again, and a success this time. You're only level 6, so every single success will matter in terms of getting you leveled up. Though the next time we get a sacrifice going, then we can just, you know, have you do it to greater effect. You go for Henday. And then you can go all the way to Otmont over here. I just want them stealing tech from different provinces. Plus, I guess this will help us keep an eye on what's going on out there. Success and failure. Alright, 1 and 1, at least for those two. Next tech thief. Steel tech. And failure. Alright, that's way too many failures in one turn, guys. Come on. Somebody's gonna get sacrificed to Cain, and you're not gonna like it. What else do we have here? Siphon of Knowledge. Come on, you got a name. You can do this. I believe in you. What do we have here? 75 and 0 versus 75 and 2. Alright, I prefer the 0, I think. Success. Good. Good. Very good. Still no Dark Pegasus for you, but good. Like so. Alrighty, and there are probably other heroes to move, but they're not as important as doing that immediately. Camring! You could... Oh! Huh. This little March Stance army has effectively killed the Fey Enchantress by sitting out there, although the battle would be tough. Again, this isn't really what this army is meant for. We could obviously draw them out, but that's a lot of peasant mobs. Admittedly, they're not going to be a major issue. Would any of these guys be able to move in to reinforce, I wonder? Just out of curiosity, if we move you in here to besiege Longueur de Lac, like so, would we then be able to march stance you out here? It's kind of hard to tell, in the sense that we could maybe... I think you wouldn't be close enough, unfortunately. You'd be close enough if we were to attack Gisoro, which we could, but it's a walled settlement, and... Actually, we'd have a major advantage in attacking the walled settlement here. But the field battle would be more fun. I wanted these guys to join in, but I guess it's not in the cards. Alright, Cameron, you're just gonna have to try it again. And like you've done before, you can always back off if it doesn't work so well. Alright, what do we have in this first little army? Yeah, worthy of a Druki first strike, I think. Let's pop on in. The water is fine.
Beasts, kill!
Sorry, Assassin, you're gonna have to wait then. Alright, Pyrrhic victory, casualties high, yeah, but this army has the issue of potentially getting overwhelmed by numbers, and man, do the enemy have numbers here. Alright, let's pop the, I don't know, Gleaming Pennant on the Crows of Kham, doesn't really matter, go. Alright, here we go. Looks like Cameron has another very tough fight ahead of him, but I'm sure we can, at the very least, damage the enemy army, and if we can't win, back off. Anyway, we've started with that Druki first strike and thus deploy to kill off this tiny little army. Out here, the enemy damsel or prophetess, and going to quickly get pin-cushioned by the various barb storm units in Cameron's army, and the same thing, same fate befalls the enemy peasants. And there we go. Whether it be the Medusa rail guns or whether it be handbow or repeater crossbow bolt, it hardly matters. They're all dead just the same. Of course, that little army was nowhere near a threat here, and it's the 2 full stacks that we've got coming in, and that we're just going to have to do our best to hold off. And of course, Harry, as they move towards us, going to, looks like the enemy is going to send a paladin towards us first. Can get a little bit of damage, or try to do a little bit of damage, but despite the fact that he was vile netted up in the air, he managed to move down and attack the Medusa somehow. Unfortunately, not allowing the rest of our units to hit him too many times. But oh well, what can you do? Our other units have backed up. I was hoping to use the Dark Shards to get at least a couple of volleys on the enemy Lord and Heroes, but the Knights are approaching us rather quickly, and that's going to be a pretty big part of our win condition. Speaking of, the peasants in theory shouldn't really matter over much. Yes, there are a lot of them, and yes, they are pretty significantly buffed up, but if we should destroy all the Knights, we should be able to either kill just outright, as in with blade and bow, or otherwise burn a knight with magic, any of the peasantry. So, again, win condition, kill all the knights, ignore everything else. Well, also the lords and heroes, but anyway. Paladin is in the midst of a duel with Mr. Cameron up in the sky, while everybody else backs off and tries to draw as many of the knights towards our army as possible, and as far away from the enemy units as possible. If they were to stick around where they were with the peasants, and then we would have gunned them down with our units of Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. Anyway, Paladin's down to about 80% of his HP, maybe 75%, actually closing in on 65%, but the duel will continue for a while. Here comes the first of the enemy units of Knights, a unit of Knights Errant, who we will countercharge with our Medusa rather than letting her continue firing, though perhaps it would have been better to attack the Knights of the Lion-Hearted instead, who are, by the looks of it, going to get a nice charge in. It is a very, very nice looking unit, these guys. Heck of a color scheme. I like the sort of checkered pattern that they've got as well. Well, the double checkered pattern. They're sort of, it's kind of hard to make out, but the red on, yeah, there we go. And they've got a little bit of checkered pattern here as well, plus some kind of other pattern. So they got black and white checkered pattern, red checkered pattern. It's all good is what I'm getting at. Anyway, they are a very threatening unit, and they have done a decent bit of damage so far. 22 kills. Oh, they're at tier 5 too. Very good. Good for them. But anyway, the first of the more fragile knights, the Knights Errant, have at this point been destroyed. We're going to have everybody who can try to focus down those Knights of the Lion-Hearted. Of course, every charge of theirs is going to cause severe damage to our units of Black Ark Corsairs. We're just going to have to do our best to force them to hold a little bit by engaging them with the Medusa. Alright, and of course we do have other options in the form of another Vile Net. Now that we have our heroes with access to that ability, it's going to be a lot nastier. There we go with that. The Knights of the Lion-Hearted are done. I don't know if they've shattered, but there's not too many of them left. In fact, that was the last. And the Fey Enchantress is still kicking, and her Paladin is down to about 40% of his HP, but we had to back off with Cammering because we needed his Vile Net to help against the Knights. I do believe there are other Knights on the map, however. There is a unit of Knights Errant here, another unit of Knights Errant here, and a Knights of the Realm unit here. So we have not yet anywhere near achieved the win condition and have taken a fair bit of damage. On the bright side, another net comes off cooldown, which means the Fey Enchantress is going to be our next target. All of that anti-large bonus from the Black Ark Corsairs with handbows going to really come in handy and bring the Fey Enchantress down to 10% of her HP and bring her down altogether, while Cammering is back in that duel with that darn Paladin. Hey, leave the Medusa alone. Fight Cammering. He at least has a healing potion available to him. Alright, there we go. Looks like Cammering has taken the aggro here, and that's going to allow our artillery pieces to fire into the back of said Paladin, together with those Black Ark Corsairs. If you were wondering where our units of artillery were, just like previously when we fought with this particular army, I deployed them close to the edge of the map so that if we need to run, we are able to withdraw the crews rather fast. That's one reason, and the other reason, of course, is that the enemy started here, so we wanted to harass their army all the way as much as possible to the other side of the map, which we certainly did, and have deprived them of a lot of critical units. Just gotta work on the last remaining 3 units of Knights, 1 Paladin and 1 Lord, unless I'm mistaken. Anyway, new unit of Knights of the Realm has arrived, leaving 2 Knights Errant, but, well, leaving 2 Knights Errant should we destroy this one. Of course, the gigantic pile of peasantry is very much on the way, and I have been tempted to cast a few big old spells among them, but I figure that they're going to blob up on our units eventually anyway, and there's so many men-at-arms and so many peasant mobs that they're just going to get in each other's way anyway, so we're going to wait until they start doing that and then start dropping all that fiery magic upon them. Lots of magical artillery available to us in that manner. Burning Head, Flamestorm, Piercing Bolts of Burning, gonna be able to do quite a lot of damage once we get the enemies to blob up. Looks like with the Knights of the Realm out, a new unit of Knights arrives, and Knights Errant this time around, but we're going to send in all of our Harpies to deal with them. We've done it before, and the Knights Errant are fragile enough so that the Harpies can destroy them without too much issue. And we don't even have the plus 10 armor-piercing damage to Harpies upgrade available for them as yet, though hopefully we will soon. Now, they didn't need it here. Well, the Knights try to book it on out of there with about 20% of their HP, but another Vile Net prevents them from doing so. In the meantime, however, the enemy main line has arrived. Giant piles of peasant mobs have crashed into our lines of the Black Ark Corsairs and the Dark Shards alike, as we have basically very little melee in this army, and the Dark Shards are just going to have to help hold the line, which admittedly they should be able to against peasant mobs at the very least. 0 armor-piercing damage on them, after all. Over in the back line, it looks like the first of the Burning Heads has come down and has taken out a decent little bit of the enemy archers, shattering by the looks of it 3 of them, while our artillery continues to work on the rest. Now we finally activated Murderous Prowess, and as soon as we activate it, we also pop that Flaming Sword of Ruin. For those who watched the Karl Franz campaign, you may remember the combination of ballistics calibration and Flaming Sword of Ruin, which I repeatedly used in a couple of armies, as it does work really, really well, massively increasing all the damage. Same sort of idea here, making use of the extra attack and I believe reload, was it? I guess it depends on what unit, but that's just armor-piercing missile damage. But anyway, making use of all that extra melee attack and stuff and bumping up the damage even further with our Flaming Sword of Ruin. Anyway, just going to have to hold the enemy off. There is 1 knightly unit remaining on the field, and it is in pretty bad shape, netted down, and down to, about 40% of its HP. The win condition has nearly been achieved, as with only men-at-arms and peasant mobs remaining, I doubt that they can break the line of Harpies and and Black Ark Corsairs, and I guess possibly even the Dark Riders. We may need to send them into melee if we start running out of troops, but we're looking pretty okay. Over on the right flank, where we have a significantly more limited amount of Black Ark Corsairs, 2 of them were severely damaged by their fights with the Knights of the Lionhearted and I guess other Knights of the Realm. We've had to protect the flank by keeping the Crows of Cain on the ground. Fortunately, however, that Crow Feast ability of theirs that heals them is allowing them to more than make up for the fact that Harpies are fragile. Another burning head will burn its way through all of those peasant mobs, sending so many of them scurrying away at once. And the balance of power shifts to about 70-75% in our favor, and it looks like with no knights remaining on the field, the magics will force enough casualties, a casualty shock, at the same time to force the rest of the enemy army to rout, and the battle to be ours. I did very much consider retreating rather than, I mean, clearly we took a massive amount of damage on a lot of our units, but between the fact that we had a sort of easily visible win condition in the form of killing the knights, and B, the fact that I remembered that previously when we retreated, the quote-unquote defeat didn't really matter for Cammering because he didn't have any items at the time. Now that Cammering has items, if we should retreat up the battlefield after damaging an enemy army, just to attack them again, the problem is the first battle will be essentially counted as a defeat, and thus we are highly likely to lose an item from Cammering, which, again, considering the lack of items we have in this campaign, not something I was super keen on. So the only choice here was then to stick around and allow Bow and Blade to do the work, which they certainly did. Very, very nice. We're going to make use of our fast-moving units to chase down most of the enemies, though with most of the enemy knights destroyed, the peasants shouldn't matter nearly as much, except to hopefully making sure that we can auto-resolve the remnants. Ooh, alrighty, there we go. Another tough battle for Cammering. Keep putting him in situations where he's at a disadvantage due to the types of armies that he's against, but still manages to carry the day here. Ooh, lots of slaves, not enough healing, but, well, the money reward is basically nothing, so what can you do? Let's take a look at how we did damage-wise. A couple of the Dark Riders did really well. 28k damage, 31k damage, 26k damage, certainly severely outdoing the Dark Shards. And the Black Ark Corsairs did even better, with the Fellheart Steersman effectively tying the Black Heart's blades, both with about Warhammer 40,000 damage, though in terms of damage to gold value, a significant win to Fellheart's Steersman. 31,000 on the Crows of Cain, which were actually surprisingly effective at holding our flank thanks to the regeneration on them, and our Medusa, wow, won the Muse of Terror, vastly outdamaging the Pain Song Siren here with 38,000 damage, and 300 kills. Lots of damage dealt as gold value, and 30 and 40k for the Reaper Bolt Throwers. Yeah, I mean, we should name a couple of units in this army. It did well. Well done to Cammering as well, 21k, and the Sorceress cresting that 100,000 damage, which perhaps unsurprising considering the sheer amount of peasants she had the opportunity to burn here and slave. Alrighty, now I'm willing to bet that that the game won't let us sack it. Oh, I guess if we can, I'll probably move you into, let me just see here. Oh, you're gonna run away. God, that's not surprising at all. But anyway. Nobody will die, but I wonder whether it would be better to reinforce anyway, just to, oh wow, what the heck, we had a lot of missions for the Fey Enchantress. Anyway, before we continue, let's do a small round of name, claws and effect. I want to name the bolt throwers, and long spear distribution. There we go. Well, you know what, let's do a few names in a few armies then, while we're here. How about you, Charybdis? You can be the Massacre Maws, like so. Did we name all the Helldrakes in this army? And yes, we're going to put some more Helldrakes in another army. It's just that haven't had the chance to build those yet. You have the Helldrake pack. No, okay, let's name a few of you guys. Spawn of the Deep. Spawn of the Deep. Like so. Dread Serpents. And how about Methlan's pack? Like so, very nice. So then, oh, how are we looking in terms of the... Oh, I misspelt this. This should be Thaline Canines. Okay, apparently I can't spell, but many of you I'm sure already knew that. Anyway, I wanted to put a couple of sea dragons in here, which would then replace maybe you two? Kind of like these guys as they are, maybe. Alright, we'll name other Corsairs and other armies then, I think. Just in case we swap those out. But anyway, lots more Corsairs to name, even if that is the case. And also, have I named any of the Sisters of Slaughter yet? I have not. Alright, let's do at least one of them, or else I'll feel bad. Sisters of Slaughter, what do we have here? How about Bleeding Ballet? And what about... Okay, so this army doesn't have any named Corsairs. I don't know how many we're going to keep... Ooh, wait. Alright, you can be Fleshmongers. Like so. We should probably keep at least 3. Even that's kind of low, because it's a Black Ark after all. Banner of a Glim. And how about Blessed Boarding Party? I hesitated there because I got another name. And I figure since this army is definitely having the Sea Dragons in addition to the Helldrakes, you can be Sea Dragons Talons. Makes sense to me. Well, what means we can't get rid of you two, so we'd get rid of you two in favor of getting a couple of those sea dragons, which we would be able to build if we wanted to upgrade this, which I will think about. Let's see how much money we have remaining at the end of the, well, not necessarily at the end of the episode, but at the end of the turn, and then we shall see. What do we have in terms of the shades? We have Hatred's Whispers and Tricksters of Karond Kar, and then you, Daktan Kar, have... Oh, none of your shades are named. And none of your dark... Okay, yeah, you can have the priority since you don't have names. Let's do... What do we have here? Shades. How about... Okay, it's Grey Walker is one word. Like so, let's do another one. How about Shoreline Stalkers? Alright, at least 2 of you. Dark Riders. How about Wavebreakers? And Grey Vanguard. Lovely. And the Black Ark Corsairs in this name are unnamed. In this army, rather, are unnamed, so you can be Gulls Regret as well. And before I forget, and regret, let's name a couple more of the shades in this army as well. I mean, why not? Verda, I can't spell today, as I think we've already discussed, and, ooh, that'll max out the Greatsword shade names at least, and you can be Deadly Shadows. Yes, alright, they've got names, beautiful. Alright, I think that's enough of a pile of naming now. Let's get back to doing things that are other things. Anyway, we were on this, so you want to maybe travel here. Could have you sack this again and then travel through it. Alright, maybe. Alright, so sack this, or auto-resolve this. Like so. And sack it. Would you still be able to travel through it, or did that screw over your range? It did not. So you can go here then. Granted, you're kind of leaving the territory where you currently are, but that's okay. Ooh, you are so close to rank 9. Or rank 10, rather. You should, in fact, reach rank 10 as soon as we take this. So we'll do this, and I'll resolve it. And, oh, that damaged Camring more, but he survived the fight, so he should be okay. And then obviously we'll sack the place. Now, I guess the question is, do we actually want to occupy these places? Or raise them, or trade them to anybody? Because there isn't really anybody we'd want to trade them to, and we might want to be able to sack them some more. Although, on the other hand, that would mean having to keep other armies here. You know, I'm not sure, so we'll raid it for now. Maybe we'll go head to Castle des Fleuves next. And sack that as well. I wonder if it gives us more money than Gisoro, in fact. Because it hasn't been recently sacked. It is... Huh? And give the exact same amount? Alright, fair enough. Oh, Theraville is actually worth quite a bit. Alright, that's good. And then Alarian, you reached rank 10. Let's see. A revered name of power improves the Lord's army. Let's see what I got. We got Moon Shadow, which is speed, generic, and 10 leadership just for the Lord for ambushes. Man, some of the names are ridiculously strong, and then other names are kind of terrible. It's kind of weird. Like, what the heck is this garbage? And yes, I love speed, don't get me wrong, but 10% speed over 50% range for shades, for example. It's kind of insane. Standard die is actually a pretty good choice here. And I like hold the line as well, a final push. Yeah, it'll work considering this is being used as a defensive army. And we can move back through Langueur de Lac and then, I don't know, go around this way, sack some more of these territories. It is working for us after all, so I think we'll keep on. Anyway, Sirare, you're still recruiting, though nearly done so, though some of these units are actually going to other armies, but still, you're in a good place. Alarian's just moved and got her rank 10. Obviously, the admin doesn't need to move. Elysian, you're waiting for rank 10. Satilla, oh right, yes. You, Satilla... go here, probably gonna trade some troops around. Conwovel, you cannot move this turn, right? Okay. So, what we need to do critically here is this. Build the Dreadmanse and then immediately into Palace of Dread Knights because we want Cold One Dread Knights for Admiral Twern here. That'll combine with the bleed offered by the Four Sisters of Slaughter and then the Toxic Venom offered by the Charybdises and the Black Ark Reavers. The poison off of the Dread Knights, say we build 3 of them. You do poison as well, right? Or lethal poison, rather. And then the only thing we're missing, rather, is regular poisons. We have bleed on the Death Hag, and in order to get regular poisons, we thus might want to either put a couple of Medusa in here, or, well, I guess that'll mean taking out the Reaper Bolt Throwers. But whatever, that's fine. We don't need them everywhere. And in every army. But we will want regular poison. And the best way to acquire that would be then, yeah, maybe a couple of Manticores, actually. Manticores would provide additional armor for the Sisters of Slaughter, make them a little bit tankier. Yeah, I don't dislike that idea. Can we build Manticores out of your army? No. Can we build that Manticores out of your army? No. Okay, so, in that light, well, first of all, you need to get that Sacrificial Pit of Cain. That hasn't changed. We'll keep the arena. Although, you know what? Maybe build a Sacrificial Pit of Cain afterwards. We'll delete the Estate of the Masters because we don't need growth rate here anymore, in theory. We'll keep the pits, the arenas and stuff for now, but we will build up the Harpy Cages, which will enable us to build a couple of Manticores. There we go. Assuming that there's no other type of contact effect that we could use here. Anyway, you guys kind of stick around together. I'll deal with you later. Maybe even between the episodes, just so I don't have to consider who's doing what at, well, what time. Anyway, you're going to grab this mysterious island and then get off the coast of the Tower of Lenog. We're actually kind of enabling Couronne Hellebron to win stuff, but not a big deal. I still do want to make sure that we're the ones that sack the tower here, so do so, please. Do we need to build anything here? Nope, it's mostly upgrades. In theory, we don't need the Estates of the Masters anymore, but always keep the prison wing because it's a free 40 slaves per turn. Still worth our time. Alright, anybody else? Anybody else? Caliph, you are still moving down towards the Black Kraken Armada. Apparently, since we can't use the petroleum, in fact we can't even see the petroleum with the Dark Elves, we might as well just fight them for fun. At least this way we get to fight some Chaos Dwarfs. I mean, why not, right? We're all over the place, all over the world, and we're fighting everything we can. Oh, I didn't want to see if we couldn't ally Khalida, though. I wanted to see if we can grab the, well, there's a few Tomb King constructs I think we might want to use.
I will continue later.
Just checking for islands real quick, but I don't see any, so I think we're okay. Alright, Moksha, keep going northward. Maybe we can get the unit of Cold One Knights to clash with some Imperial Knights. Frankly, should have done so with some Bretonnian knights, but well, that wasn't happening. Anyway, do you need to build anything? Oh, you can upgrade to Gargantuan Black Ark. Alright, fair enough. We'll do that, and I assume that you can probably also upgrade as well. No, actually, you're mostly good. And in fact, you thus no longer need the Estates of the Masters, and we can build something else there. And you will soon not need the Estates of the Masters either, will you? In fact, let's upgrade your self-supporting abilities, and then let's pop off the Estates of the Masters then. Alright, lovely. More Black Ark growth, isn't it just the best? Who has not moved? Wait, Caliph, you have moved, but your heroes are... weird. So the heroes have way more movement range? It's kind of surprising. I was kind of operating on the idea that the heroes would also lose all their movement range once the Black Arks had moved, but apparently that's not the case, so I'm completely wrong. Screw me, I guess. Anyway, you, Xarian, you are only missing your Sorceress and possibly the Blades of the Blood Queen, but otherwise you're good. I might send you southward, I'm not sure, but we've got a second to build stuff, and you, I believe, will build stuff as well, so keep going this way. You're also missing a Sorceress. Ah, we need more Sorceress capacity. Every single dang second. Or every single Black Ark. We have so many Black Arks that there's just vastly outdoing the Sorceress capacity. Well, what can you do? Anyway, you can grab a Dread Mance, I guess? You already have the stuff you need for your particular army, which isn't much. But these give us capacities and actually generate decent amounts of cash, so why not? We'll do the Dread Mance first and the other things second, but we won't invest in you right now. You can upgrade the Shrine of Cain because it will reduce the cost or the upkeep of the Harganeth Executioners. We'll upgrade the Sorceress's Abode later. And otherwise, we can build the Harpy Cages and also the Dread Mance. Doesn't matter which one we start with that one because it's more expensive. Actually, I should have started with the other one because it has 3 lines, but whatever. All good. Enormous Black Ark for you and upgrade these. There we go. Tier 4 means you guys will be out on your own very soon, in fact. Which is just lovely to see. And then Admiral Iliar Krakenlord, you're just here waiting for your heroes, one of which I believe is this Death Hag. Could also do 2 Death Hags. Oh, actually, you know what we could do with you? Wait. We gotta wait one more turn. Waiting for a couple of Bloodrack Shrines in this army. I just wanted to go maximum sort of buffs for the Krakenlord army, so just pop in a couple of those, get a Sorceress in there, and the army will be good to go. We are at 8 of these, and then we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe send one of these guys out and replace with Sorceress, but not necessarily right now. Anyway. What else we got? Twern. Oh, did I not move you? Oh, you're waiting to recruit. Yeah, alright, fine. You can grab your Warriors Hall and all that then. But otherwise, sit pretty. You're gonna go southward soon. And oh, didn't build your stuff either. Alright, keep on growing. Carrier Shadow Dart. You don't need to do anything because you're just a carrier. You're mostly here to help recruit other armies and stuff. You've moved, and that's the end of the line. Alright, so you, Assassin. Oh, right, you were trying to hunt down that annoying little... this guy. Alright, let's see. Increase success chance. You've tried it like 3 or 4 times already and failed every time. Come on now. Oh, okay, well I guess you do have a low percentage to succeed, so it does make sense. Please kill the Hand of the Shadow Crown here. Failure again. This assassin, you're gonna get sacrificed to Cain, man. Don't blame me when it happens. Who are you? Sorceress of Beasts with Monomaniacal. Oh, right. Sirare, while technically being a caster, will need other sorceresses to buff up the Medusa, since this is the Medusa army with that reload time reduction. Slash the slowdown army. It's all coming together. Do you have a Death Hag? You do have a Death Hag. You both have a Death Hag. And you just lack sorceresses. Actually, you could have maybe used the Black Ark Reaver, but... Oh, we're out of capacity for Black Ark Reavers too. Good lord, alright. Well, no capacity for us for anything. Alright, we'll ignore you guys then. And who the heck is Werna? Oh, you were confederated and you got Blood Brews? That's lovely. Alright, we're gonna pop you in over there. We can actually pop you into an army. Alright, just some building, and there isn't a lot, mind you. Ooh, Bilbali. You're ready to go up to tier 5. This is a good time for it since we have 2 more turns of materials at sea. Decent likelihood we rush you, so for next turn we gotta save up. Too bad we couldn't have gotten Castle Bordelot up to the max level here at that time, but all good. Yes, Vizaya also up to tier 5. Thank you, materials at sea. This was very well timed. Alright, and then all of these territories are rapidly losing everything, but that's fine. decent likelihood we keep basically none of those. Arnau, I would like you to build defenses just in case we keep you, at least for now. Paravan will probably trade, and then Sud will probably trade or raise or something. We really gotta send somebody to deal with this guy. He's just gonna keep annoying the place. But anyway, I believe we're ready to end the turn. We don't... Yeah, there's no more time in the episode to fight anybody. I just want to end the turn so I can do as much admin as possible over the end turn, between the episodes. You know what I mean? Alright, what do we have here? A little tiny army attacking our garrison. I mean, it's okay. I'm kind of inclined to skip this mostly so that I can do the admin between the episodes. We'd obviously win this by a huge margin because we have Executioners and Black Arks. The only thing that makes me doubt this is the fact that we haven't had a chance to play with those guys yet. Which is tempting, I will admit. Alright, screw it, I guess I'll save the admin, and we'll save this fight for next time, just so that we can get to see the Blackguard, the Executioners, and the Dread Knights all in battle at once, a little bit earlier than their Black Arks. So, I'm going to call the episode here. We'll start the next episode of Sigmarsheim versus whatever the settlement is. Oh, Sigmarsheim, the settlement, and Sigmars... We really got to rename it to something Dark Elven, and Sigmarsheim, the faction, next time, so stay tuned for more Lokhir, and don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they will determine how long this campaign continues to run for. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.